Before we get going, this is a spoiler-free review of Gotham Knights. If it surprised me while I was playing the game, it will surprise you after this review. I will not be mentioning anything you already didn't know. Gotham Knights is a game looking for an identity. It is unsure if it wants to be a tight-knit, linear story experience that has you battling some of Gotham's greatest and deadliest villains, or if it wants to be a live service game that continually has you crafting new gear with new abilities and a grind fest of challenges to unlock basic maneuvers. Let's get right into it. Take your expectations of Gotham Knights and drop them off at the fire station. This is not an Arkham series game. There's a reason WB Montreal didn't name this game Arkham Knights and instead opted for Gotham Knights. Batman is dead and you're taking over Gotham's crime watch as Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, or Robin. Your goal is to find out why Batman was killed by dealing with the comings and goings of Gotham's most notorious villains. One of the best things going for Gotham Knights is the story is incredibly well crafted. While Batman is never declared dead in the city of Gotham, villains are noticing that he isn't around as much as he previously was and aren't afraid of the Knights. This isn't a Batman story, but instead it is a coming together story for the Knights to prove themselves to the city of Gotham, both to the citizens and the criminal world, that they are in control. Throughout the story, you'll hear well-known villains very straightforwardly tell the Knights that they don't respect them and they are not worth their time. You'll listen to your companions question both themselves and the group in passing, wondering if they have what it takes to rise to the level of justice that Bruce left behind. I am quite confident that Batman fans will enjoy the story that WB Montreal penned for this game. As a big Batman fan myself, it checks off all the boxes that you'd want. Your four heroes, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin, all play differently, which allows you to play the game whichever way you'd like. Red Hood is an incredibly powerful character who moves much slower than Batgirl, who relies on quick movements, but will take more strikes to take down her opponent. Despite being a big Red Hood fan, I gravitated toward Batgirl due to her playstyle, but also because of the Knighthood challenges. I mentioned in the beginning of this review that Gotham Knights seems to struggle between being a story-driven game and a live service experience. The Knighthood challenges require you to do three things. 1. Complete a training timing mission. 2. Finish 10 predetermined crimes. 3. Defeat 3 mini-bosses. Once you complete this challenge, you unlock a special flight ability for your hero. For example, Batgirl is able to glide like Batman in the Arkham series. Red Hood unlocks a mystical float that, my guess is, a side effect of the Lazarus pit he was resurrected in. Here's the thing about these challenges. You have to do this per hero to unlock their last ability. To complete this for every hero, you need to finish 4 trainings, 40 predetermined crimes, and 12 mini-bosses. Given that you maybe have 1 or 2 predetermined crimes when the game starts, this is a legit grind that is extremely time-consuming and, if I may be so bold, incredibly frustrating. It feels like WB Montreal locked an essential ability behind a challenge to extend Gotham Knights' game time, and I didn't have it in me to go through this again with Nightwing or Robin. Trekking through Gotham to find these crimes isn't what I would consider a good time. And let's talk about Gotham City. The Arkham series games did a great job explaining why the citizens of Gotham weren't seen walking around the city. In Asylum, you're indoors the entire time. In City, you're locked inside a prison that was placed directly in the middle of Gotham. In Night, there was a massive evacuation due to Scarecrow's gas, and Origins was on Christmas Eve, and it is implied that a blizzard has just struck Gotham. Gotham Knights doesn't address any of this and has citizens freely walking around the city of Gotham. If there weren't random citizen voice lines as you're swinging through Gotham's boroughs, you wouldn't even know that these folks were around. When the game was announced, I had visions of Cyberpunk's Night City's population walking the streets of Gotham, but that isn't the case. Kudos to WB Montreal team for their use of lighting in Gotham City. The neon lighting looks great whether you're driving your Batcycle around the city streets or zipping from rooftop to rooftop. Being able to see car headlights or police lights in the distance is a very cool effect. While Gotham City seems scarcely populated, the art team did the city justice by creating a different look. The game itself looks pretty good. I'm playing on the PS5 and WB Montreal made the choice to include ray tracing on consoles, but it's at the expense of frames. Consoles are locked with 30 frames per second with no performance options, a staple of current generation gaming. While this isn't noticeable for most of your activities through Gotham City, not having a 60 frames per second option definitely hurts in multi-man combat arena experiences. And let's talk about the combat. Combat has been changed from a punch counter mechanic of the Arkham series to a melee and range combat in Gotham Knights. In the beginning, I was put off by the combat system as my expectation was that we would see something similar to the Arkham series. As I played through the game and I got the flow of combat, I did start to enjoy it more. However, the combo system is clunky, and the animations can be incredibly slow, which will lead you to taking hits. I noticed this more often than not with Gotham Knights' grab system. The grab allows you to do one of three things: strike your opponent, throw your opponent, or interrogate them. Red Hood has a throw ability where he places a concussion grenade on the back of a thrown enemy and tosses him towards his gang. Numerous times I've been in this animation and a mini-boss has decided to charge me and I'm unable to cancel that throw animation. Combat is good when it comes to dealing with Gotham's fodder. There's nothing better than bashing the brains in when you're surrounded by a gaggle of low-level thugs, but once the mini-bosses come into the picture, you realize the downfall of this combat system. A lot of that is locked behind the animations I spoke about before. Mini-bosses have moves that cannot be interrupted, so you just have to dodge and then use a heavy attack to break those defenses. Again, you really start to feel that chunkiness in combat when you're dealing with a multitude of bozos and suddenly a mini-boss or two shows up. When I mentioned Gotham Knights being stuck between a live service and a single player experience, the crafting system looks ripped straight from a live service game. While playing the game, you'll come across a multitude of different salvage crafting parts to craft different suits and melee weapons and range weapons. Your gear does not level up with you, which means once you ding, you'll be hopping into the back computer to start crafting these new gear parts all over again. All of these can be crafted in Gotham, but you'll have to return to the Belfry, your home base, to use them. Suits all have different attributes, such as elemental damage up, chill resistance up, which screams live service. I will say though, some of the suits look great in this game and are fully customizable. You can change your color, your cowl, your chest icon, your gloves, and your boots, which are just cosmetic. It allows for some variation on your look and can lead to some pretty looking batsuits. Ultimately, though, there is a sense of poetry when it comes to Gotham Knights. Much like Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, and Red Hood, Gotham Knights is living in the shadow of its predecessor. There's a very satisfying story in this game that will delight fans of the Batman universe, but it's wrapped in an open world that isn't satisfying and feels more like a chore to be in it than it should. Chunky combat and time-wasting challenges only add to the outside of the story frustrations while traversing Gotham. Right now, I cannot recommend this game at full price. Wait until it's on sale and see what WB Montreal's content roadmap is going forward. If you enjoyed the review, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, maybe a comment, and we will see you soon for more 3 Dads on a Console. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much. Goodbye.